Is there only one path to God? Is there only one true religion? The fact is, no one really knows. So trying to convince others that one way is the only way seems misleading to me. Again, this isn't about making you believe like I do. Those who seek God should be united in that bond, no matter what God they call their own. As long as it doesn't engage in practices against the moral code, all religions are welcome in the Terran society. Imagine how fast our connection to God would grow if all spiritual people came together to share their personal stories. Not to debate whether they're right or wrong, just to hear their most impactful stories from their journey. However, evil loves division. It's how you keep God's people apart, making them weak and less likely to fight the good fight. We all have to put aside our differences now. We have the greatest thing in common, our desire to know God, our belief that positive energy is far more powerful than negative energy, and that belief is shared by evil. They who live in the negative energy understand how weak they are in comparison. Nothing positive ever comes from doing something negative. Hating someone for what they believe will never do anything good for you. It's far more damaging to you than the person it was aimed at. Why waste time on hate? Why waste energy on something that is destined to lose? My grandmother and I used to argue about religion all the time. She a devout Christian and me at the time a wandering soul. We shared our differing opinions. To be fair, we argued about a lot of things, but the subject was a big one. I asked her to do something for me. I asked her that someday, when she gets to heaven, come to me in a dream and tell me who was right. "Oh, I can't do that," she scoffed back. "I think you can if it's important to you," I replied. Eventually, she did promise to try, but wouldn't guarantee anything. Years later, a month or so after she passed, I had the most vivid dream. I was in a city at night, and a phone booth appeared. As I got close to it, the phone started to ring. I stepped in and picked up the receiver. It was my grandmother on the other end. We spoke for a moment when I asked her, "So what's it like there?" She answered, "It's not what I expected," which if you knew my grandmother would exactly be how she would have answered. She wasn't going to give me the satisfaction of knowing I was right and she was wrong. Or maybe you're not allowed to give certain information in the other side. However, it wasn't some great triumph for me to hear her say that her concept of the afterlife was wrong. I actually felt sad. I didn't want to be right over knowing she wasn't happy. So I asked, "Well, are you happy though?" She quickly came back with a confident, "Oh yes, I'm very happy. It's just not what I expected." In the end, maybe we both won that argument. I've never argued against another person's belief since that moment. In the end, she was able to finally shut me up and show me that good people will all end up in the same wonderful place, no matter how we choose to follow. There will be no division on the other side. Imagine a world where Wiccan stood with Christian, Jew with Muslim. If all the religions of the world could forget about their differences and come together for the greatest thing we have in common, our desire to know God. So to answer the original question, is there only one path to God? Will God only accept you if you did the right rituals, sang the right songs? The paths to God are many, and in the end, they all lead to the same place. I'm you and you're me. We're all from the same source. We shouldn't be fighting one another. We should be concerned with the world we live in and putting a stop to the corruption that plagues us. The real enemy is evil, not each other.